Hey, welcome to my podcast, Cold Narratives. I'm your host, Iceberg Green. About to let y'all hear some of these cold narratives. Check it out. Hey, what's up with it, y'all? Iceberg Green in the building. So today I'm gonna talk about a story I've been covering out of Oakland, California, and the mayor, Ching Tao. And all the information, all the data was breached. And I'm an Oakland, California resident, and I actually got a letter in the mail talking about my information had possibly been breached. Okay, I got to put this in context. So for those that don't know about my city, Oakland, California, we done had the Raiders, Oakland Raiders, Golden State Warriors, and the A's in our city. This was a sports town. It provided a lot of jobs for the inner city youth, for the people in the community. And out of all the mayors we've had, we end up with the Oakland A's. You know, we've lost our teams due to contract issues and the whole thing. Like I said, it was all about capitalism. They wasn't thinking about the community and how many jobs were going to be lost, how much more impoverished it was going to make our community, and how it was going to make people react to not having those jobs. They didn't think about that. They thought about development, building up Oakland to look the way they wanted to look. You know, I ride through my city now, man, and the streets is different, man. I look around and, you know, the feeling is different. You know, you see the white people walking around, different races, and they feel more comfortable than black people when they do in our own city, man. And they walk around with their heads held high, like they looking at me like, hey, what are you doing here? I'm like, man, my family been living here down there 50 years. So you got to actually literally explain to them about you being in your own city, you know. And it's crazy, man, the dynamic, man, and how they flipped it on us, man. So we got to get back grass rooted in Oakland, man, and get back on code. Okay, so this is on ABC News, and I guess the Oakland Police Association, they filed a suit against her because their information actually got breached to the fullest. You know, people was getting credit card and all type of stuff in their name, and they can't reach her. So this is off ABC News, and this is his take on it. Check it out.
Oakland Police Officers Association says the mayor and city officials have stonewalled each of their attempts to get any update on this ransomware attack. A data leak that our sources tell us is impacting thousands of employees and residents. And now the POA says if they have to, they will take them to court.
The city's ignored and stonewalled its own employees. It's pathetic.
Barry Donlin is the president of the Oakland Police Officers Association. 6 weeks after the city's network was hacked, he says he got this email.
Said, I'm sorry, we've lost all your information, but you get a year of credit monitoring.
The city provided a phone number to help those impacted. And when Donlin called it
responds back to all of us, all your information has been compromised. And that's it.
He says that's the most information he's got to date from the city. The POA sent 2 letters, first to the city administrator on March 6th, and then to Mayor Ching Tao on March 20th, a week ago. Both attempts to get any update on the scope of the attack, the number of people impacted, and how the city is working to prevent it from happening again.
Have you heard any response?
No. Sent it multiple times, nothing.
And the city administrator?
Nothing.
Did you even get a response to the email?
No. I would like to say, Channel 7, you have been our main conduit of information to city employees.
But even for us, getting answers hasn't been easy. After 5 denied requests for an interview, we had to show up at the mayor's press conference discussing housing to get any update on ransomware. But even then, we got cut off.
Housing questions?
I do have a question. It is a ransomware question. Can I still ask?
Nope. That's already 3. And so thank you so much. You know, I've been very vocal in regards to the different outlets that I've shown up to every single week and given an update.
And we've not seen that. We've not seen anything.
Donlin says police officers have had new credit cards opened in their name and their social security numbers hijacked, while other employees are saying they can't file police reports properly because the systems are still down.
This is something that we have inherited.
Not responding to letters from your own employees is not an inherited problem. It's your own.
Well, we've reached out to the mayor again today for an interview to discuss these concerns and again have yet to hear back.
Okay, so I'm going to put this in context. This mayor has been in office for less than a year, and she's already dealing with all types of scandals. And let me remind you, she only won by a landslide, and that was due to some corruption. I'm going to just keep it real. the data breach, people getting fired for no reason, and she's just cleaning house. Urban development, people's vouchers, they still getting pushed out of Oakland. So none of that has changed. But you go to these laws she's putting in place for her people, Asians specifically, Asian hate crime bills. But as a black man, you can still walk around and get called that word, and it's not considered hate. So this right here, this is from CBS News. She actually didn't want to do this interview on ABC because they've been on her helmet. So she actually went to CBS, and for sure that was a political strategy, and explained herself. So this is her explanation. Check it out.
We learned the amount of sensitive personal data released was 60 times larger than the previous data release in February, and it was all posted on the dark web. Do you have a comment on that, and how should the city respond?
I do have a comment on that. I get OPOA's frustration in all of this. This is very sensitive information that has now been posted to the dark web. I get their frustration, and that is why I am, removing any sort of interim communication with OPOA President Barry Dolan. I am communicating with Barry Dolan and myself now, but I do understand his frustration. I do understand that there have been red flags that have been raised over the last however many years, right? Last decade. That is equally my frustration as well, too.
Tech website Comparitech says that on average between 2018 and 2022, those attacks lasted for an average of 17 days. Obviously, people very worried about this. What do you want to say to the folks who live and work in Oakland who fear that their personal information was leaked to scammers right under the city's nose?
Absolutely. Yes, the city's outdated systems have been attacked by what I consider terrorists. And it is more than frustrating. I understand the outrage. I am so outraged myself as well, too. And so this is the reason why we are currently continuing to work with law enforcement, including the FBI, as the investigation continues. I also want to note that anything that's on the dark web, that it is illegal for people to download as well, too. And so with that being said, we are doing everything that we can here in the city to notify individuals who have been impacted.
Yeah, so our city, is full of bootlicks now. They find them. It's just like in politics and the stuff you see in Tennessee. They find people to prop up and put in front of your city and make you think that they speaking for you and have your best interests in mind, and they don't. It's all for political gain. It's all for people to contribute to their cause and make them look good, while we still looking bad in the community. So it's not a lot of outreach when it comes to the community and programs and different funding that comes directly to the community. It gets dispersed to people that don't put it back in the community. Oakland, California is the birthplace of the Black Panthers. And, I'm going to just speak on them in general. The history of them and how they helped the community, how they came together and fought for a cause. They were infiltrated by agents, that split them up and cause all type of dysfunction. And, Oakland is grassrooted in that civil rights movement, and we're known for that. So we've dealt with all these different mayors that never came in with our best interest. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to say God bless everyone going through the struggle, and watch out for them cold narratives that the government be trying to push on us, y'all. And to all my Black people, I would be nothing without y'all. Thank you all.